Here's one. You need to go on the web and watch it if nothing else. John Murtha Airport. Y'all seen it? $150 million airport. Average passengers, 20 passengers per day. Every ticket is subsidized to $100 per ticket. And guess what? The federal stimulus bill gave them another $800,000 so that they can pave another alternate runway for the 4 jets that go directly to Washington, D.C. 4 times a day. We should be mad. Mad. U.S. Treasury also tells us that our politicians that get an allowance to cover official and representative expenses. Fox News, Wall Street Journal found out that part of that went to buy or lease a Lexus, 2 digital TVs, digital cameras. I'd like to spend the money that way, but I can't. Jefferson also said this: the democracy will cease to exist when you take from those who are willing to work and give to those who will not work. Absolute abomination. Anyone with any intelligence. In 2003, there were over 50,700 pages, and today it is estimated there's over 70,000. Maybe we should tell the federal government we'll send our money in after we get through reading the code. The Declaration of Independence, the words that launched our nation, had 1,300 words in it. The Bible, the Word of God, 773,000 words. The tax code, that is the words of politicians, over 7 million words and growing. I brought some money with me today. Last time they couldn't see what I was doing, so I'll do this again. Let me understand the tax, because I believe that most people don't understand their taxes. Most people look at it this way. They choose, this is a study that was done, interesting. They choose their CPA by whether they get a return or not on their tax money. Wrong answer. Let me give you this real quickly. Your employer has to pay your part of the Social Security and Medicare, and you take 7.5% of that money your employer pays, and he has to send that in. You get to send your 7.5% in. That's where we get started from. We then get to pay our illustrious state tax, anywhere from 4 to 6%. Our federal tax, and we get to pay, anywhere from 24 to 32% of them. And this is what we get left to spend. We work from January to May before we spend any of our own money. Oh, but I lied to you, because guess what? Before I spend this, I have to pay a sales tax on everything that I buy. So I have to pay that, so I lied to you. I'll tell you, the biggest part of it that also bothers me is realizing this. If you've done really well and you've saved well, the best year for you to pass this on to your family is 2010. Am I right? Because if you die in 2010, you don't have to pay the estate tax if you die in 2010. And that tax is about 50% that you get to pass on to your family if you've done very well. I don't have that much time. I was going to read the whole list. Ronald Reagan said this. Let me quote. A government's view of the economy is summed up in these short phrases. If it moves, tax it. If it moves, tax it. If it keeps moving, regulate it. And if it stops moving, subsidize it. Interesting. Exactly right for what's going on. Healthcare, I'm going to make one statement, is this. We should require all of our elected officials and government workers to have the same health care as the brave men and women. I'll tell it like that. But how about this? Maybe we ought to send them to the VA, where our brave men and women who give their lives for us go. And they should not have retirement plans unless they are willing to put money in. They should have 401ks like we do. And maybe they're part-time employees, so they shouldn't qualify at all. Let me wrap up. I want to read to you James Garfield. he made a statement, because we the people should be responsible. And here's what he said: the people are responsible for the character of their Congress. If that body be ignorant, reckless, and corrupt, it is because the people tolerate ignorance, recklessness, and corruption. If it be intelligent, brave, and pure, it is because the people demand these high qualities to represent them in the national legislature. James Garfield. The declaration ends this way. Let me quickly read. It says, "And for the support of this declaration, and with a firm reliance upon the protection of divine providence, we mutually agree to each other our lives, our fortune, and our sacred honor." Those men signed knowing that everything they had was at risk. Could I ask you to put something at risk today? If nothing but a membership in the Tax Tea Party. Not that we need the money, but you need the help. We need all the help we can get to come back and take our nation back. We have trusted the Democrats and the Republicans, and it's time for we the people to come back. Thomas Jefferson said this, and he understood this, that government is not to come down to the people, but it's to go from the people up to the government. And Jefferson made a pretty good statement. He was a wise fellow. He says, we in America do not have government by majority. We have government by the majority who participate. And if we do not participate, we have no word. Ronald Reagan, I have to be honest, my favorite. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. If we don't pass it to our children, in the bloodstream, it must be fought for, protected, and handed on to them to do the same. Our need is to pass it on. Friends, the hour is late. We have waited long, and it's time for us, we the people, to take charge once again of our nation. God bless.